Hello, Mount Zion family. I am sharing today an update from the COVID response team and the Church Council regarding in-person worship services and activities at Mount Zion. Throughout the pandemic, the response team and Church Council have been consulting the guidance available from the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, as well as recommendations from state and local health officials. We've also been listening to the on-the-ground assessment from Mount Zion member Dr. Scott McCracken regarding the specific trends in York County. All of this information is useful when considering decisions for Mount Zion operations. Over the last few weeks, we've seen an encouraging trend downward in the community transmission of COVID-19 in York County. We've also been excited by the introduction of the vaccine and that many of you have been able to get the vaccine. We also know that many of you are still waiting to receive it. The vaccine is a positive step towards returning to the normalcy that we are all craving. As promised, the COVID response team has been prayerfully considering when and how we can begin to meet in person for worship and other activities. To aid in that decision, we continue to utilize the resources I just named. Currently, York County is in the category of high community spread, and that's defined as 100 or more cases, new cases, per 100,000 persons in the past 7 days. As of February 19th, the rate of community transmission in York County is 224 cases per 100,000 in the past 7 days. That data comes from the Pennsylvania Department of Health and is publicly available. The response team and Church Council have decided that we cannot consider gathering in person as a church family for worship or other larger gatherings until the rate of community transmission moves out of high transmission and into the level of substantial transmission, which is 50 to 99 cases per 100,000 over 7 days. As with the approach of many local schools, when York County successfully sustains the substantial transmission rate for at least 2 weeks, then we can begin to gather again in person for worship and other events with mitigation strategies in place such as distancing and masking. We believe this is a useful metric because we'll be able to prepare as numbers go down for regathering, and we look forward to that. As a point of reference, when we regathered for in-person worship in the early fall, York County was in the substantial transmission category. When cases began to rise and we entered the high transmission rate, we suspended in-person gatherings. Please know that the response team is reviewing the numbers weekly so that we can be ready to act. Like you, we are eager to regather and look forward to begin that process as soon as it is prudent. As we look ahead to Easter, we're eager to share in another drive-in worship service. We'll offer 2 services on Easter morning, one at 8:30 a.m. and another at 10:30 a.m. Information about that drive-in service will be published in the near future. We also continue to accept in-person group meetings with 10 or fewer participants. And as the weather warms up, we look forward to activities that can be hosted outdoors, including an Easter egg hunt for the children of Mount Zion on Saturday, April 3rd at 11 a.m. This has been a long journey. Almost 1 year ago, we suspended our in-person worship services. Throughout this year, as a congregation, we have remained engaged and supportive, and on behalf of staff, Church Council, and the COVID response team, I want to thank you for that. We believe God is at work and strong within the Mount Zion Church family, and we trust that we will again meet and worship in person with one another. We remain grateful for the gift of technology and the tried and true communication tools of the telephone and mail, all of which have enabled us to be connected even as we are separated. A year ago, we did not imagine how much challenge and loss this year would bring. We mourn together the loss of over 500,000 lives in our country to COVID-19, and still many more who have become ill with this virus. We also acknowledge just how difficult it has been to endure times of separation and the change that has been asked of all of us. There have been many sacrifices. We are now in the season of Lent, a season that is, in part, a season that reminds us that sacrifice is a part of the Christian story. In this season where we have sacrificed so much, let us find hope in the one who truly sacrificed everything for our sake, Christ our Savior. Let us focus on the power of the cross and the redemption that it promises. We know from the story of Christ that God makes good out of even the most difficult circumstances. I pray that as you look back on the last year, you acknowledge the difficulty, but also celebrate the good that God has shown us. And I pray that you look with hope at the beauty and good that is to come. Thank you, my Mount Zion family. God bless you.